Hello, hello. Wonder if you can hear me. Oh, Eli, thank you very much. Can you guys hear me? I wonder if you can hear me. Oh, it's hard to see my feet on you guys. A little bit lower, maybe. Yo. I wonder if everyone can hear me. Let me check. I wonder. Oh, there you go. Okay. Let's wait a little more. 5 people watching. I already have received a question from a member at Patreon.com, and from it's from Clouding. Yeah, Clouding. Oh, thank you for letting me know. It's always wonder. Can you hear that laundry going? That's pretty loud, isn't it? Let me stop it. That's much better, isn't it? Much better. Okay. Organized silence. So that's good. Okay. I always start a little bit early so I can make sure that you guys can see my feed and everything. And a little bit of mess there back here, but don't worry about it. Just ignore it. Just pretend it's not there. Okay. All right. What's the time now? Okay, 8 more minutes. I can start now, but when I said 6 o'clock, so if you have questions, guys, of course you guys are watching. I mean, here earlier, so it's a good chance for you to throw some questions. I know Claudia, not Claudia, Claudine, your question will be answered at the very beginning. So don't worry about it. I remember about that. I think you're talking about hikiwaza, right? The footwork for hikiwaza, going backwards and strike. Just to confirm. What else? What else do you want to know? And if you can, I know Eli is a beginner, and I don't know if he's here. And I really appreciate Eli for your donation. Again, I really appreciate your donation. Thank you. Um, Any more questions or 12 watching? So, okay, great, great, Eli. Can hear you. Okay, thank you, Eli. Thank you. You can hear me, right? So, if you have questions, uh, if you don't have questions, maybe pop some questions will pop up while we're doing this. So that's okay. But since we have some, 6 more minutes to begin, I just wonder if you have some questions that so, before we get into action, I have some time to read and answer your questions. So if you have, and if you want me to go over something, please let me know. I actually asked, uh, I'm sorry, always, just uh, at the last minute, I always upload links. So hold up, I wonder if YouTube has, did I upload YouTube community as well? Let me check the questions. Because I did ask if they have any questions, I think. And if I don't read it, that's kind of rude, isn't it? Okay, hang on a minute. Yep. Oh, no messages. So, okay, whatever you guys wanna. Hi, hi, Sensei Emmett. I think you joined the club, Kendo for Life Club. Thank you. So if you have things for me to go over, please let me know. And Molomir, sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Uh, Koha Nguyen. We did, guys. I have very bad memories, so I don't know. Maybe I wasn't born with memory cells, so I I have very bad memories. And if I'm acting like I saw your name for the first time, please forgive me. Maybe getting hit in the head for like last 40 years. It killed a lot of brain cells, I think. But anyway, so if you don't really have any questions, uh, think something. I have 3 minutes to go over. No questions, okay, but we'll start on the. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. DVD this weekend. Yeah, take your time, eh? Take your time. When you learn movements, my advice is pay attention to details like the arm. Especially like I don't have any teachers around, and all I have is my memories, which I just said, you know, the suck. My memories suck, but image from what I saw during Keiko with Sensei. Of course, we have videos now, so I watched the video and then until you can vividly play those senses movements in your head, you watch the video and then you can kind of start pointing at, oh, wow, how is he doing this movement? For example, from here, let's say easiest way when you strike man, okay, maybe you are learning man strike, pump man strike, right? Where's this hand should be? Is it on the same at the same height as your shoulder, right shoulder, or a little bit lower or higher. You have to start paying attention to these details and then mimic, copy, duplicate these things. Now, of course, from sensei to sensei, they have their own, learning theories, or the sensei tell their sensei and my sensei are maybe they went to the same school, but they learned from different sensei maybe. Their childhood sensei are different, right? So there are many ways of learning, of many ways of learning Kendo, and then that makes you unique. It's not about right or wrong. Well, if you are learning from proper sensei, if you're learning, there are a lot of people, a lot of videos out there. They say it's Kendo, but they're not doing Kendo. So unless you are unfortunate to get these kind of sensei, you're pretty much good to go. Okay? So, Sensei Ahmed, yes, I'm good, thank you. I'm a young teacher for my club at Canada. Can you some advice for the young student? Okay, can you tell me what grade you are? I don't want to advise you if you're like high grade holder, you know, I have some different advice. 初段初段ね初段 Okay. What? First dan. Okay, so you are in charge of teaching, right? And my advice is I don't know what you do, okay? I don't know what you do, how you act. Sensei to me, okay? Sensei to me is someone who teaches Kendo movements as well as Kendo teachings, as well as life experience, all those kind of things. Now, maybe it's, some people don't like it. Some people want to just learn movements. And then I think they are looking for an instructor, not sensei. Or if they want to look for shisho is including life, how they lived and stuff like that. And a lot of people probably don't want to learn these things from anyone, maybe. So it's not like it is like disappearing in Japan anyway. Shisho, deshi is pupil relationship. So maybe sensei is probably the closest you can get, maybe. But for Shodan, I don't think you can, it's Shodan. Good evening, abstract chicken. Work hard or mass funny, but in respect of Kendo, some student 8 to 11. Oh, okay, so you're Shodan, right? And you're teaching little kids. Yes, you don't have to teach Kendo Japanese ways. So you 8 to 11 years old. I think their attention span is longer, and maybe if you want to add them some, okay, doesn't have to be Japanese way. Japanese way doesn't work even in Japan anymore, telling them off and stuff like that. So, when I was a kid, my sensei used to whack me with the bokto and stuff. It doesn't work anywhere in this world anymore. So we don't have to do that, of course, and be funny. But and then you have to know this moment. You have to tell them this moment and this moment, this moment. We're not gonna be. We're not gonna have fun. We gotta do this. For example, respect each other. You have to respect. What do you have to respect at the dojo? Maybe you don't have a proper dojo, which a lot of people don't. And if you're at the gym, you're gonna treat a gym like a dojo. I hope you do. And that's because dojo is the place where we train ourselves. So you have to change your mindset. I think kids can understand that. We have certain rules, and all they have to do is follow the rules. So you have to have this format structure, what you have to, what you're going to teach them. Not only movements, and movements make it funny, make it fun. If it's not fun, they lose interest like that, right? So I use these things, as you all know, these things, I do some fun game with, I had some students, I mean, kids, before COVID, so I had to make it a little bit fun. But now we have adults as well, so have to be serious as well. But everyone has to follow those rituals, respectful rituals, bowing, bow to each other, and so forth. So make sure you have structure first. All right, good, good, good. Okay, now I received a question from Claudine, uh, and she was asking me about the footwork. When you're going backwards, we call it hikiwaza. Hikiwaza is actually hiki means pulling back, so you're going backwards. Usually, you go strike man, right? Pa man, or whatever. You go forward and you get close to your opponent. Now we have this maybe body check or crash into your opponent, but we're gonna bounce back. So we push our opponent, and if your opponent just go whoa, lose balance and step backwards, you go chase and strike. If your opponent is strong, and of course, when your opponent is strong, you use your opponent's power and go backwards and strike. Okay, so that's hikiwaza. Now, a lot of people think hikiwaza is from Tsubazeri. It is true. That's called hikiwaza. Okay, but hikiwaza means strike going and go backwards. Okay, so that's what what hikiwaza is. Okay, so how are you going to do it? That's the question, right? Thank you for such great. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for Paul Strength, son. Okay, so hikiwaza. Let me use Bokuto. Okay, so footwork for hikiwaza, right? What you have to do, let's say, there are many ways. And okay, I'm gonna just explain two ways. Okay, two ways. First, where your hand should be. Okay, that's one. There are two types of H-down sensei, senseis. Okay, one, keep your hands down after you strike man, when you go backwards. So, for example, when you strike man, keep this forward. Number two, man. This is what most of people do nowadays, right? Now, which is correct? Which is not correct? I don't know. There are two senses. There's always more than one. So, I don't think, my personal opinion, if we say this is the only way in Kendo we should do, to get a point point as in, in a match. I think Kendo becomes narrower and narrower. So I don't think we should decide which one we should be doing. Most important thing is Ken Tai Ichi Ki, energy, Ken, sword, and Tai body has to get together and go, bam, okay, and then Ippon. That's fine, right? And of course, man above, that's good. So older sensei tend to go, bam, go like this, okay? And the younger people go, bam, like this. When you do that, when you pull your sword up, this will help you go backwards. That's number one reason. Okay, it's easier to go back. And then when you pull up your chin, that of course you want to go backwards, so your body, if everything goes that way, it's easier to move back, right? So that's how I think after World War II, maybe modern Kendo turning into that direction. So older sensei, like ninth dan sensei, they don't do that because they don't have to do it. They just go, they do that, right? So maybe it's age thing, or maybe it's pre-war Kendo versus during war Kendo versus post-war Kendo. Kendo changes all the time too. What's necessary, what's not necessary. So I was kind of in between. So I could see pre-war sensei, well, during war sensei maybe, who learned Kendo from pre-war sensei. So I was lucky to see these Kendo. But nowadays, a lot of people never seen this Kendo before, right? And they only see this kind of Kendo. So if you do Hikimen like this, they might not give you a point, okay? But this is important. It's sad you cannot get a point in Shiai, but Shiai is tournament or match, right? But after all, if you have Kiken Taichi, if we see it, those people, those senses see it, they're gonna say that was good. That's okay. Maybe the bad shimpan, bad referees, but you did good. So I want you to do Kendo like that instead of how can I get a point? And then Kendo becomes a point game, and it's sad. We lose, and these techniques that they think cannot get a point, we lose these techniques, right? So I don't want that happen. Anyway, so that's two things, right? Man, either this or man, either this. Now, two ways of doing shikiwaza with different positioning of your hands. Now, footwork. Yes, you want the footwork. It's very common now. You go, pam, that's right. So, shikimen, one, pong, like this. So it's just like fumikomi, using fumikomi. Going forward, when you go backwards, pong. Okay, I'm gonna exaggerate so you can see. One, right? One, pong, and then go backwards. Okay. Now, this is one way, okay, using fumikomi. But fumikomi is actually going in, okay? So komu is into the floor. So this komu, right? Komu into. So fumu is step. So stepping into the ground. In this sense, this is maybe fumikomi-ashi. But is this necessary? No. And I don't say this is wrong. This is okay to do it because that's how I learned as well. But remember the basics? Man, right? Man, this is okay as well. You don't see this in Shia or match or maybe Jigeko if you watch younger people doing Hikiwaza. But if you see older people doing Hikiwaza, they go like this. Exactly this. Each man, right? Basic Suburi Kendo. Like this. This is okay as well. Again, Kikentai Ichi is very important. Integration of these three elements. Ki, energy, Ken, Tai, body, right? Everything has to come together. That's a very important part. Now, so there's two basics, right? Two basics, either pang or pang, like this, okay? Whichever you feel like doing it, do it. And my personal opinion, you should be able to do both because that's a variation of footwork, okay? And if you think, oh, there's referees, I'm not very skillful, so if I do like this, probably they're not going to give me a good ippon, right? They don't see it as a good strike, so I'm going to use like this. You can do that too, right? If you don't get main strike, if you don't get, a good, if you don't get a valid cut by doing like that, and you switch, okay, then like this, right? So you can do both, so you have more potential, right? There's always room for more tea other than what's inside your own cup. Thank you for great content. Oh, your more tea other than what's inside your own cup. Okay, what's that? Oh, okay. Cloudy. Okay. And another thing, you can go left foot back. You can do that too if you don't have enough space. There's you can play around. Again, important thing is can touch right, and you can do little things. So but I'm sure you have sensei, so listen to your sensei first, and as you become more advanced, you can start playing around. We learn we learn forms, and then we become formless. Okay, so that's why those great sensei didn't have forms, but they have forms, but they have their own forms and things like that. All right. Okay. So any other questions? If you no, okay. Okay. I have Bokto in my right hand, and I'm gonna bow there. はい、お願いします. Can you say お願いします? お願いします is please train with me. Okay, and お願いします. And this is the first bow, so I'm not gonna see your face. Okay, I'm gonna bow down. お願いします. Okay, and maybe I should see your face, but anyway, I've been just being polite. Okay, and says I don't know if you think we can have two in on the YouTube screen. Maybe I can use my iMac with a camera on it, so I can shoot myself. I can, what do you call it now? It's not shooting, right? I can take myself from the side, and I have my video in front of me. What do you call it? iPhone. Okay. So if I have two sideways and front ways together in the YouTube Probably that's better, maybe, so you can see what I'm doing, maybe. Let me try next time. Okay. はい、お願いします。Okay, make sure you have triangles here. お願いします。Okay, keep your back straight. Okay, back straight. Okay, grab the sword. はい、right, pull. Okay, now, はい、お願いします。And change my hands. Sword on my left hip. Take a step forward. Okay. Right. Let's do 上下振り. Okay, 上下振り is different camera angles. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Different camera angles. This way and this way. So I don't have to turn all the time, going like this. So if I go like that and that camera have this angle, but I think I'm gonna hit. But anyway, let me try that next time. Okay? Okay, 上下振り. Get right foot forward. Pop. Pump. Tap. Tongue. 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 Let's focus on form. 1, right? 2, 3, keep back straight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, はい。1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Okay? Now, if you don't know how to count, maybe it's how to count in Japanese. It's now is the time to learn how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now, let's do 正面打ち. So you go up, right? And strike man. Now, I don't know what you're taught, how you learned, but my way is I am cutting down my sword until the kensaki is the tip of the sword, is eye height, maybe a little bit lower. Nowadays, I try to cut down more. Okay? And that means, see my right hand is way lower than my right shoulder, right? Okay? And my left hand is, this is solar plexus. Or if we call it chu tanden around here. But we have bone here, right? Bone, chest bone. Now, a little bit lower, I think. This is, okay, so this is the chest bone here, right? Up there. Like that. Okay, so cut down. Okay, so I do this. I don't know how you do it. Okay, and always keep checking and stop. Okay, shinai as well. Shinai as well. Shinai as well. This is shinai. Okay, if you have shinai, same thing. Okay. The reason I'm sure a lot of people see, sensei have this gap there, because I also was wondering why we do this, because we have kote gloves, right? And when we have gloves, fit right there. So I think unconsciously we are thinking about kote. So this feels good because this positioning is exactly where I put my kote on. Kote is gloves, and it has to have a gap because this kote is thick, right? So I think my hands are always here, and it feels right. Okay, so bad example is you move like this, like this. I'm exaggerating. Some people go poop like this, and make sure because of the positioning of your hands, right hand, okay, is should be further from your hand, from your body, right? Because you grab like this. Now, left hand, on the other hand, it's closer, right? Can you see my left elbow pop? Elbow is bent. Okay, that's normal, isn't it? Because it's this end is closer to you. So if you stretch this, right, make it straight like this, okay, and your right hand becomes further. You know what I mean? Okay, that's why you feel uncomfortable. Maybe if you have this habit, that's why you go like this. It's very uncomfortable. You're stretching out like this. You know, your body knows. Oh, I don't like it. So then you slide it closer. Okay, and so when you strike man, you go yeah, and you think, oh, I can't reach, and then go slide, so you can have more reach. Now, if you have these habits, fix it right now. We have time. Okay, if you don't go to your dojo now, this is time for you to fix. So once you place your hands, okay, on your sword, don't move from there, top, right, man, right. See how some video. One of the members at the Patreon shared a video with me, and I have he asked me what the sensei was saying, and I have more second half to translate. But the first part, he said, because of the hand positioning, okay, you can't you can't stretch your arms at the same time like this. Just have to go first, and then you just guys. So you always go like this, right? Of course, it has to be smooth. I'm not saying 1, 2, all right? It has to be smooth, but always some. If you do it naturally, okay, it should do. Probably if I say natural, it's not fair, isn't it? Because I've been doing this for 40 years. So, but anyway, from here. So this is closer, right? So this goes down first, and the right hand goes. That makes sense, isn't it? So if you go boom at the same time, this happens. You can't really flick. Your kensaki, the other tip of the sword, doesn't go. So nice and relaxed. Don't extend anything yet. From here, nice and relaxed, right? And pop, boom. Okay. Lower your sword, all right? And shoulders down, shoulders down. Okay. Don't stretch out. Okay. Don't go up. From here, take shoe down, shoulders down. Nothing different. Okay. Nothing changed. Pop. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Okay. This happens when you put men on anyway. When you are not putting men on, doing, working on your form, don't change anything. Okay? And don't worry about striking fast. If you don't know how to stop, you don't want to go fast. Okay? If you don't know how to stop, this happens. All right? And if you think you can stop, this happens. All right? So now somewhat this speed has to be controllable. Okay, so speed, pop, 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 pop. Doesn't have to be fast, doesn't have to be slow. Right amount, okay? So you can stop anytime you have to, okay? So nice and big. When you do big, you're using all the muscles you need for kendo, plus you cannot cheat. Small, you can cheat. And you don't even know what you're doing if you do it small. If you do it big, you know how it works. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. Okay, hopefully no higher grade holders, sensei are watching this. So when I say this is good, they might think, oh, you're not doing it good. All right. Anyway, how high should we have the sword above our head? Good question. Textbook. Okay, All Japan Kendo Federation, that is slash International Kendo Federation says here, like Migi Jodan. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, so from here you can see your opponent and right, see your opponent as in you can see your target. So if you see man, okay, I can say man, like that. Once you have your sword up, don't drop it. From here, straight towards your opponent. Okay, that's what you have to do. Also, I suggest do it back. This one as well. Okay, one of the reasons I suggest you do back is in Kendo we have mask, right? And this we have shoulder guard here. We call it mendare, shoulder guard. Now, once we have these shoulder guards guarding your shoulders, you can't lift your hands up anymore. Now, what I mean by you cannot lift your hands up, because this is kind of, if this is new, if it's new, it's hard. So it's tough to bring your hands up. So your kendo becomes very small and you're not using the muscles you're supposed to use, right? Shoulders here. So I suggest now, for now, okay, if you don't have men on, use your whole these muscles, shoulder blade as well. Okay, nice and big. Okay, and then tight. I have tight. Pum, 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 pum. Okay, and then important part is when you beg, keep these two fingers, bottom fingers, pinky and ring finger, tight, closed. Okay, when you do big, because it's too big, you tend to do like this. Now, you can do it when you become advanced, because you will lose control easily if you go like this. Okay? So make sure if these fingers are tight, your sword comes up. Okay? If they are loose, this happens. Okay? So they don't have to be extremely tight, but tight enough so you don't drop that like this. What's up? I am finally catching it. Oh, thank you. こんばんは先生、レッスン、どういたしまして。大じゃ Sorry, I can't. Is it 大じゃ Ashley. Oh, Ashley, good evening. Yes, I'm good. Ashley, thank you. I hope you're good too. How's your asthma? I'm doing well. Well, I can't say this in public. when we have a chance to Zoom again, actually, I'll tell you too. All right, I'll keep my swings mid for now. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Now, let's do some exercise. We use calf muscles a lot, so I think I shared this with you last time, right? From here up, and as you swing down, calf raise. 1, 2, 3, okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As you go up, slide down. Okay? 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Da-da-da-da. Oh, good to hear, actually. Yeah. Medication is important, isn't it? Yep. IBNS F67. Shina in Ebook, but they have different sizes. I have no dojo or sensei. What should I do? Oh, that's for lobster. I always wanted to learn. Thank you, TH4NOS. Okay, so Shinai, if you're an adult, you always go for 39. Okay, adults means over, if you're 19 or older, okay, 39, size 39, and just buy practice Shinai. Okay, that's for practice. Cheap one is good. If it's Ibogu, you don't get bad one, okay? Always people have preference, right? So some people buy Shinai from Ibogu, some people buy from somewhere else. But if you don't have any preference at the moment, just buy practice Shinai. Okay, you don't have to buy expensive Shinai at all, right? Thank you, Sensei Emmett. Oh, you must go. Oh, okay. I'll see you later then. Okay, and another so we can use this too. You know, this block. Okay, I just popped in my head. From here, go pop, pop. Okay, you can do that too. It's a bit unstable, so you need probably harder block. But you know, just be creative. Okay. Now let's do squat. Okay, from here, make sure butt sticks out. Okay, and knees in. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this is my toes here. My knee is not going like this. If you do that, it hurts. Trust me, I have knee problems. Okay, as long as I keep my knees in, it doesn't hurt. So you go, pump. Okay, all right. Any comments? Oh, good. 42 G gaming. 420 game. Okay. Welcome to the class. Okay. 1, right? 2, 3, 4, go. If you get all the way down, go all the way down. Go. But key is don't hurt yourself, okay? Look. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Do that. Maybe 30. Okay? And another good exercise, I kind of happen to do this with my students. They hate this. Okay, you go. 1, jumping squat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, do that. important thing again, don't hurt yourself. Okay, and form. You don't want to go like this, right? You keep the form. Okay, and you can do slow. Set yourself, and then sit yourself. Like that. Do that 10 times. It's a good workout. Okay. Okay. So we went over a little bit of theories today. Okay. And theory, how to do hikiwaza. Okay, there are no right or wrong ways. I think Kendo is very free after all. Like I said, once you learn forms, you become formless. Okay, so, but of course, you have to have system, right? That's why we can be free. You know, people say we're free without responsibilities. Responsibility is a structure. Without that, it's not free. You just do whatever you want to do, it's not free. So you can move accordingly with the structure. Okay, so, and you know the principle, kiken tai ichi, stop. So that's important to know. And, you know, last thing I want to share before we go, okay? When you hakama sensei do, when you wear hakama, do you wear kaki obi for preference? You can wear whatever obi as well. And I don't really wear kendogi here because it's easier for people to see what's going on. And also, you know, I think a lot of people work at home. You know, nothing wrong with getting into Keigo and Hakama. I think it's good. But, you know, it's up to you. Now, Kendo came from this, right? A lot of people forget about this. And when I use yaito or sword to do suburi, you know what people say? That's not Kendo. But Kendo came from here. You know, what are they talking about? Of course, you know, we use bamboo sword to hit each other because we don't want to. Do you want to hit each other with this? It's not hitting, it's a killing now. Okay, so now because we came from this, you know, Kendo has been simplified because we don't have saya is scabbard, all right? So it's very important that we know we came from this. Okay, and all the rituals, not all, but mainly when we sit down. Okay, for example, if we have katana, if I have my katana on right hand side, that means I don't have intention to kill because this is not how we use katana technically, right? Okay, so this understanding, I don't drive on my left side. Is it left side? Yeah, on my left side in US. In Japan, in New Zealand, in Australia, maybe I drive this side, left side of the street. In the US, I drive on the right. Okay, same thing. Okay, it's a rule. So here, if I fight fair and square, right, I have no intention to kill you. And when I sit down, okay, okay, katana, sword, a blade should be facing towards me. Now, because I can't draw out like that, okay, if my katana on my left hand side blade facing out, that means I don't trust you. If you start cutting me, if you try to even move, step forward to cut me, I can go right to, okay? Sorry, neighbor. Okay, so that's what it means. So even if we use bamboo stick, right? Treat it with respect. Of course, a lot of things are different now, but the kendo, ken means this, right? Strictly speaking, it's different, but let's say kendo, the way of the sword. So we're using this. And then that's why we go, はい、お願いします。Like this. タイト。お願いします。タイト。Right? タイト。タイト position. One, two, three. This is what we do. Wow. Right? Sorry, I don't have obi with me, so like this. Right? Ta. Right? And shoot them, right? When we go, はい、収め、収め、と。And then you want to do to, right? Put back your katana in saya. Okay? And then kaito, right? Sorry about the sagyo. One, two, three, four, five. Lower your sword. That means katana out of the obi. Okay? And arigatou gozaimashita. Kendo, we do this. But kata, we do this. Okay? So, very important. That's why when I wrote my beginner's book, Kendo Guide for Beginners, I wanted to emphasize on these things as well. This is the cultural part, historical cultural part of Kendo. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so please do remember, Kendo is, yes, it took its own course. Yeah, maybe we don't use real sword in Kendo practice, but, we have to know this history and culture. So please do remember that, okay? Any other questions before we go? My neighbors hate me. Yep. Oh, I'm sixth dan in Kendo. Yaido, I just took one time. I have Shodan, first dan, and after that, I never took exam. So I stayed at Shodan level. Okay, so I'd like to take exams, exams in Yaido, but as a family commitment and all, it's hard to go a lot of places. But anyway, it's COVID now, coronavirus now, so pandemic, so can't really go anywhere. So let's practice like this, and this helps me to think as well by sharing the knowledge with you guys and some other training methods. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, and also hit the like button. That helps me to keep going, encourage me. And of course, if you think this was good, super chat me so I have 5 videos already transcribed. Transcribed? Yeah, transcribed. So I'm gonna check them and then fix them, upload them. All right. So you will have closed captioning for the videos. So and also I am working on my book, another book, hopefully 2 more books. So if you can super chat me, that all those donations will go to those project, okay, project of closed captioning and making books. So that will be helpful. Okay, thank you for watching, and also please watch a lot of videos here. That helps me too. And also, if you want to have more connection with me, come to Facebook page as well. I'll make sure. I think there's a link, and also patreon.com/Kendo for Life. That that is a membership site. So I'm I always try to have more conversation there. And Wednesdays we have a Zoom meeting. So if you become a member, you can be a part of it. Okay. And thank you for coming. And any more questions? Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Nothing? You can learn by training alone. Yes, you can learn. Yes, hopefully with with sensei. So make sure you have structure. Okay. Without structure, you're just doing nothing. So Kendo, we have structure, but different senses tells you maybe different things. But if you know what is important, you can still learn some basics by yourself. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, Cloudy, thank you. Man, you guys always give me donations. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Really do. Thank you. And yes, uh, so make sure you have structure, right? Again, structure. And don't just do whatever you want to do. First, you learn structure. And even Musashi, he said he didn't have sensei, teacher, but his father was teaching him. So, and he was learning, right? So he has the basics. So make sure you have basics correctly. And if you don't have anyone to check on you, become a member at patreon.com, patreon.com/Kendo for Life, and send me your video. I will check. Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you see you next week, same time. Okay. Thank you. はい、ありがとうございました。